All right, week 3 NFL preview. Teams tier list. Cardinals. I forget what I rated them when I did it the first time. They might be them. They beat the Rams. They got real close to the Bills. I'm gonna give them a B. Kyler Murray seems like he's making moves out there. So yeah, Falcons. Falcons are I think 1-1 right now. Yeah, they're 1-1. They beat the Eagles. I'm gonna give them a mid tier. Yeah, they lost the Steelers. That I can't rate them anything. I thought they were gonna be great going into the season. They really haven't been showing up. Ravens, they're a C. They started out 0-2, and they can lose the next 2 games or the next 3 games. They're playing away at the Cowboys. Um, I don't even know who else they're playing. I know they're playing the Bengals, which will be a big game for them. And they're playing the Bills. Like they could lose out and start the season 0-5. Their defense is shit. Their O line hasn't been pulling through. Not looking good. Bills, I'm gonna give an A tier. They looked very convincing. James Cook is the fucking man. He's cooking. Allen didn't even have to do anything that game, and the team won. So big ups for them. Carolina. Let's see Andy Dalton. They announced that they're benching they're benching their QB in favor of Andy Dalton. Um, so hopefully, I don't know that this team's lost in the sauce. Another team that's lost in the sauce, Bears. I'm gonna say bottom of the C tier. I can't. I can't. They're an F tier. I'm sorry, Bears. Top of the F tier. They this I'm a Bears fan, and the team doesn't know what to do with the QB. The O line is awful. I think Caleb Williams got sacked like 7 times against the Texans. It wasn't even a bad loss. They're only 1-1, but I don't know. They on paper they have the talent. They need a better O line and they need an offensive minded coach. They just won't have it this year. It's just not going to happen. Bengals, they're 0-2, but they're in the C tier. I mean, you're 0-2. What am I going to do with you? That being said, you lost a close game to the Chiefs, the best team in the league. This is probably a little unfair to be honest, but I'm putting in the C tier. Browns also in the C tier. They won this week, pretty convincingly, but I just don't have faith in them at all. Cowboys throwing in the B tier. They got their ass handed to them by the Saints. That being said, the first game was very convincing. It's almost exactly the same roster as last year, which was good during the season. Broncos, sending them down to F. I think the Broncos are 0-2, right? I could be wrong. In general, I don't have much faith in this team. They're not good. They're actually very bad. Um, the Lions. Lions are 1-1. I know they won against the Rams Monday Night Football. Who did they lose to? They lost the Bucks by 4. Lions are in the A tier. They're still a really good team. The Bucks are looking insane this year. I actually really like the Bucks. I'm high on them. I think the Lions are going to easily win their division. So yeah, moving on. Packers are 1-1. They lost to the Eagles. They won this week. I know that. Gonna put him in the B tier. Hopefully Jordan Love will die because I'm a Bears fan and I have to say that. But no, he's looking to get back soon. When he is, they'll be back on top. But I'm gonna put him in B now. A tier for the Texans. Here's why. They're 2-0. But who did they beat? They beat the Bears by 6 points. That's not huge. Their defense looks pretty good. Their offense looks pretty good. But at the end of the day, like, are they beating top teams? They beat the Colts by 2 points. They beat the Bears by 6 points. Wins all around, but they're not in S tier. They're not doing it super convincingly. Next is the Colts, who lost the Packers. They're 0-2. I'm still going to put them in C tier. I don't know. I think Anthony Richardson, when he's hot, he's hot. I think they can pick up a couple games. Moving on, Jags. I kind of want to slunk down to the F tier. They haven't been doing much. Trevor Moore seems... Not Trevor Moore. What the fuck's the QB's name? I'm a fucking idiot. I should know this. Trevor Lawrence. Jesus fucking Christ. He said it himself in a post-game interview. Like, it's just not it. They're not starting off the season hot. I don't know. I'm not confident in them. Chiefs, the S tier. Not much to say there. They beat the Bengals. They beat the Ravens, which I know those teams are both 0-2, but it's still just 2 weeks in. Going into the season, those look like two of the toughest teams that they'd have to beat. And they beat them pretty convincingly. They made mistakes along the way. They're always going to do that, but they found a way to win. That's what's important at the end of the day. The Chargers. Chargers, should I give them a B tier? How are the Chargers doing? I honestly don't know. They're 2-0. Jim Harbaugh, what I've been hearing is he's just turned the fucking the spirit of the team around. He's turned the sort of attitude of the team, much like happened to the Lions a couple years ago. So Chargers are B tier. Still, I don't want to say still early, but hey, maybe they could pull some things together. Moving on to the LA Rams. They are 0-2. Still going to put them in C tier. They got good bones. Puka's injured, actually. I don't think Cooper Kupp's injured. They have Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford. They should be able to have a couple wins and not be a bottom tier team. That's why they're not in F tier right now. Then there's the Raiders, also in the C tier. I'll put them higher up than the Ravens, who they just beat. Raiders defense looks pretty good. Offense has some talent. I mean, Bowers and Devontae Adams, some talent, but Minshew's thrown to them. Who knows? I mean, maybe they're more of a B tier team. They are 1-1. But yeah, and then they beat the Ravens, which is a huge win for them. And it was a close game. So who knows? Dolphins. They're in the C tier. They're in a really bad position. Tua, my heart goes out to them. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if an announcement's been made. I watched the game Thursday. And here's the thing, they have talent. Etienne and Hill, they have talented players on offense. They could put some things together. Who knows? I mean, after what everything that happened, it's looking rough. Vikings, I'm gonna put solidly the B tier. I'll put them right there. They're 2-0, and they blew out the Giants, and everyone said, okay, that happens when you're playing the Giants. Then they took it to the 49ers and they beat them. Now, that is not an easy one to come across. They just had a lot of injuries in the past game. They really gave it their all out there, but hey, they got to win. They're 2-0. I'm putting them in the B tier. I don't think they'll win the division, but hey, who knows? Moving on to the Patriots. I think they're 1-1. They beat the Bengals week 1, which is pretty crazy. And then I believe they lost this week. But their division was supposed to be one of the most competitive in the league. The Jets, people were talking big game about the Jets. Dolphins. The Dolphins seemed like they were primed to at least win one playoff game. The Bills are just always the Bills. They've been good. As long as Josh Allen's on that team, they will be good. And the Patriots looked like they were going to lose the division. They're 1-1 with most of the division. But the division's just not as strong as everyone thought it would be. The Patriots aren't that bad. Maybe in a couple years they'll be good again. I hope not. But they're in C tier for now. Saints, I'm going to put in the S tier. I didn't see the Saints being this good coming to the year. I think a lot of people didn't. They have Derek Carr as their QB, and they're just slaughtering defenses. They have some high skill players. They have really good ideas about how to attack defenses, and how to get the ball across the field. I don't know what much more I could say. They beat Dallas last week, and everyone said, "Oh no, they beat." I mean, yes, they did beat Dallas last week, but week one they beat the Panthers. Everyone said, "Oh, it's the Panthers. It's the Panthers. Who cares? Anyone could drop a 50 burger on the Panthers or nearly do it." They beat Dallas, who's supposed to have top 10 defense in the league. They beat them very convincingly. Let's see what happens to them. I'm gonna throw the Giants up here. Um, the Giants had just such a funny loss. It was a divisional game, one of one of two that they have a chance of winning this year. Um, and they blew it. The other team didn't score a touchdown, 7 field goals, and they won the game. That's just hilarious. I'm glad I'm not a Giants fan, and I'll leave it at that. Jets are definitely a C tier team. They lost to the 49ers. Um, they have a divisional game this Thursday, and they beat the Titans, but that's not a big win against the Titans. It's not like it was a close game with the 49ers week one. They're not looking that good of a team. I'll put them above these two teams, only putting them above the Dolphins just because of all the recent injuries. Or at least the big one to Tua. People say Aaron Rodgers still throws the ball beautifully when he'll always throw the ball beautifully. He could be 80 doing that. The problem is Aaron Rodgers was great in his prime because he could jump out of the pocket and do a crazy throw 80 yards down and get a completion. I mean, he's just too immobile, and his offensive line isn't that good. The Jets defense isn't as good as they were hyped up to be. So yeah, they're gonna float in the C tier. Eagles are in the B tier with these teams. That feels right. They beat the Falcons. That being said, the Falcons just beat them. Which is an overall better team. It was the Eagles' game to lose. I think the Eagles are a better overall team. I don't like Sirianni. I don't think they're gonna get to the Super Bowl again as long as he's the head coach. They have some talent, but I don't know. I don't know. Steelers, they're 2-0. I'm putting them in the B tier. Yes, they've beaten. Well, they beat the Bengals week one, which was at least supposed to be good on paper. And they just defensively look. The Steelers will probably make the playoffs because Mike Tomlinson will bring them to the playoffs. They're the most blessed team in NFL. They're a B. All right, they're 2-0. Do they look good on offense? No, not at all. Can they win enough games to make the playoffs? Certainly. They're already 2-0. They're already part of the way there. Seahawks float in the C tier. I don't know where to put them. And honestly, I didn't watch the Seahawks game this weekend. Yeah, it feels right off feeling. They're 2-0. Oh, huh? Would you look at that? Well, they beat the Broncos week one, and they beat the Patriots this week. So that's not saying much. I could put them in the top of the C tier. Eh, I'll put them bottom of the B tier. They're 2-0. Are they going to be a great team? No. But at the end of the day, man, I don't even think they get second in their division. They're in between here. I'm dropping them down to C. I don't have much faith in them. I think they beat two bad teams. Moving on. 49ers dropping from the S tier to the A tier. They lost this week against the Vikings, which is pretty big. Now, CMC is going to be out for probably the whole regular season. That being said, how much will that impact him? Who knows? They're still a good team. They're still going to make the playoffs. I'd put money on that, but yeah, they've just fallen from the S tier. Bucks. I think the Bucks are very, very good. Baker Mayfield is a different man than he was a couple years ago. Dan Canales helped him out. Um, Mike Evans is great. Chris Godwin, I believe, phenomenal. Yeah, it just looks like a solid team. They look very convincing, very convincing. I wish I had more Tampa Bay Buccaneers in my fantasy league. The Titans are F tier. I mean, they lost to the Bears. Um, they're just looking really bad. Enough said. The Commanders, I'm putting them in C tier because I can't put them in F tier. Just okay. Are they a good team? No, but good teams find a way to win. And if that's 7 field goals, that's how they win. Um, Hilarious. I don't think it matters if you put them in F tier or put them in C tier. I don't think they're an F tier team. I think they'll. Are they a bottom? Are they a bottom 7 team? No. Bottom 10, sure, but they're in top of that list. Like, yeah, it's funny. I mean, I think they're going to beat the Giants again. So that's at least 2 wins this year. I don't even know who they're facing. Let's see. Yeah, they lost the Bucks. Who cares? Lots of teams will. They're going against the Bengals, Ravens. All right, they'll beat the Panthers. They'll probably beat the Bears, which will be really sad for me to see. They'll beat the Giants. That's an extra 3 wins. They'll beat the Titans. They play really good against the Eagles. Can possibly take a win off them. I mean, they have a chance to win 7 games, maybe even 8 games, if they beat the Eagles once. Hey, like, I don't think that's F tier. So yeah, this is the ranking going into week 3. Hope you enjoyed the video. I love you. Bye.